Hi, Genki Call here with your Soulforge offerings for the week of December 11th, 2023. Let's head on in. I don't know what's in here just yet. Let's see. All right, let's go over the legendaries first. We've got Dullahan, which Dullahan. Damage to an enemy boosted by ally and enemy deaths, with an extra 5 points for each ally and enemy death. Kill either the first enemy or the first ally. Now, you would think, why would you want a 50-50 chance of killing your own first ally? You can get around that with the Leonis Tower. So Leonis Tower is immune to this spell. So even if you cast on your own troop, it won't die. So it can be fun to play around with Dullahan in that kind of a case. Or if you just like living dangerously, it is a necromancer and has a chance to summon whatever that is when an enemy dies. Would I spend 800 diamonds on it? Absolutely not. But if you have to have it, I mean, unless you just have to have one for your power level, but that's me. Basilisk, also not really something people will generally want to spend 800 diamonds on. This does true damage to one enemy. If they're poisoned, deal double damage. Then you also do true damage again. If they're stunned, you also do double damage, which, that can be a lot of damage adding up, but, I've just never taken the time to find a team that's going to be sure to have the stun and poison on board all the time so that we get all that extra damage. So, skull damage reduction, do poison enemies when doing skull damage, and stun a random enemy when matching brown gem. So, it's an interesting troop, but again, I wouldn't spend 800 diamonds on it personally. Then we've got two more here. We have Captain Saltclaw. This guy is going to do heavy splash damage to 2 random enemies boosted by blue gems. He also gives 2 magic to all rogue allies when matching 4+ gems, and he's greedy. He's such a greedy guy, Gain 2 bonus gold on 4+ gem matches. Lastly, for legendaries, we have the Void Caller, and this thing from Vulpecea is going to do either, and you get to choose, destroy all purple gems and deal 50 damage to the first 2 enemies, or create 12 purple gems and deal 50 damage to the last 2 enemies. So, 2 different ways to get purple mana. You can either destroy it, which is like you matched it, or you can just create a bunch of purple gems and hope that you get a match for it and loop out of it. Also starts battles with 25% mana and reflects 25% of skull damage. He also converts a purple gem to a lycanthropy gem when his turn begins. I meant to not fully trait this guy, and I accidentally did because I hate lycanthropy. If I had it to do over again, I would only get the first 2 traits here. I wish I had that to do over. But as far as mythics go, we have the Champion of Guard. This guy is going to gain armor. If there are 13 or more skulls, get double the armor, and then create a mix of 22 blue and red gems. He does have a mana cost. It's not too terribly bad for as far as mythics go. Spell damage reduction by 50%. Skull damage reduction by 60%, and all red allies gain 1 to all stats at the start of each turn. People don't tend to use this troop, but he's not weak, and if you've ever fought him in PvP, you'll see that he's kind of hard to kill. Flame of Anu, this is another one people generally don't use because he only hits the first 2 enemies. It is boosted by burning and fairy fired enemies, but as the enemies die, you're going to have fewer that are burning and fairy fired, so he becomes weaker as they die. However, he does have one beautiful point, and that is his 3rd trait. Burn and fairy fire a random enemy when matching 4+ gems. Fairy fire is very, very powerful if you are running with a spell damage team. And of course, burn, lots of things are boosted by burn. Specifically, most notably, actually, would be Fireblade with the triple skull damage versus burning enemies. Let's see. Fairy Godmother. Is that the last one? Fairy Godmother. I tend not to use. I don't like the randomness of it. She gains an extra turn, period, unless she is frozen. She's going to get the extra turn. But she's going to either create 2 to 3 wish gems, or damage to all enemies, boosted by wish gems, or give life to all other allies, boosted by wish gems. She also has a chance to convert a yellow gem to a wish gem when my turn begins. Those wish gems are just... They stress me out because you don't know what they're going to do. The wish gems might give you full mana. They might give your full team mana. They might give your team and the enemy team full mana. So, you know, she is a risky, risky troop to use. But anyway, let's see. Was that all of them? Oh, Jotner. I forgot Jotner. There we go. Here's the last one. True damage to an enemy boosted by barriered allies and giant allies. He only hits one enemy, therefore people tend not to use him. However, he does give a random ally a barrier on 4+ gem matches, which can be very useful. So he can be used for his passive third trait. As far as weapons go, you can see I don't have the Doomed Mask. It's because it's a Doom. I already have 14 or 15 weapons for Silverglade, so I'm not worried about getting weapon blocked here. As far as the weapons that you can get in the Soulforge, very notably, if you missed my other video, Life and Death will be in the Soulforge Tuesday only during the Silver Necropolis Faction Assault. However, if you don't want to spend your diamonds, spend your gems in the Faction Assault and get it for your gems. Faction Assault day only for Silver Necropolis, you will be able to get Life and Death. Alright, besides that, we have the Nature Sword. This is one of those cheap 75 diamond ones you should get if you can, so that you don't get weapon blocked in Silver Necropolis. Especially since this is a Magic Kingdom. Anyway, damage to the first enemy, triple damage if they use brand mana, and it entangles the first enemy when you cast if you have it tempered. Next we have the Crystal Point. This is going to do damage to an enemy boosted by Silverglade allies, then create a mix of 6 yellow and purple gems for each Silverglade ally. And it self-enchants, by the way. We do love self-enchanting weapons, or at least I do. Another cheapo, Rune of Silverglade. This one is going to remove all purple gems. You won't get any mana, but neither will your enemy. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by gems removed if the enemy is from Silverglade, or if the battle's in Silverglade, deal double damage. Also self-enchanting. Wow. Nice. Ethereal Shield. Also self-enchants. Gain armor and barrier a random ally for every demon enemy. Next we have the Wild Orb. This creates 3 to 8 wild cards with various multipliers. I believe this came into the game via... I can't remember what the name of the event is, but this was...
It was a campaign.
I don't think it... Well, it might have been campaign, or it might have been the kingdom thing. Anyway, this was locked. This was money locked. So, anyway, 3 to 8 wild cards with various multipliers. Wild cards can be fun. If they don't match, that's not so cool, but, you know, it's an okay weapon. Wand of Stars is always here, always here. Emerald Blade. I'm using the Emerald Blade. I do love my splody weapons. It explodes purple gems, grants some random status effects to all Silverglade allies, and summons a Silverglade troop. And yeah, it's splody, and it uses red and green. It's Christmas colors. Alright, and lastly, we have Arcanus's Blade. Arcanus's Blade, it self-enchants also. Damage to an enemy if Arcanus is on the team, enchant myself. Also, it's going to self-enchant anyway. You don't have to have Arcanus on your team. But if you don't have it fully tempered yet, you can add Arcanus to get the enchant. So anyway, that's all we've got for the Soulforge this week. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget about Life and Death tomorrow if you don't have it yet. It's an awesome weapon. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you may be, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye!